the fact that she put him in the friend zone for 2 years, and then it's when she got her long titties, that's when she want to take him out and expecting this man to commit to her is wild to me.
Man, this is some bullshit. Them gyal are wicked, them wicked, them wicked. Them gyal are wicked, them wicked, them wicked.
They are back on TikTok with their business, y'all. But remember, we're here to listen, point, laugh, and men.
Get to the chopper!
Because, yeah, she said, a huge lesson I learned dating as a single mom. Never assume, ask questions. Let us hear what she's talking about. If you're rocking with the channel, y'all, hit the like button. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well. Let us take a listen.
So, quick story time before I clock in. Or whatever. So, I want to tell you about a time when I was dating this guy. And I had stopped talking to him because he told me that he didn't want to marry a woman with kids. So, we were dating for a solid 5 months. Like, it was great. Like, he treated me so good. Like, I was just like, oh my God, he might be the one. So I was probably like 25 at this time, and this was the biggest lesson I've ever learned being a single mom. Like, I was like, oh, I'm taking this lesson and I'm running with it. Like, I'm not running into this again. So mind you, he was a great man. Like, he was a provider. Like, he was a great man, let me just say that. But I started falling for him, and my best friend will always be like, how do you think he feel about you having a kid? And you know, I will always think like he know I got a kid, but I don't just bring my son around everybody. So I'm just like, you know, he know I got a kid at the end of the day, and he knows what I want. I want marriage, and he knew that. So it's crazy because I didn't really think nothing of it at the time, because I'm like, I mean, he date me and he's serious. I had a key to his house. I stayed at his house, like, always. So I'm thinking like, I mean, he know I got a kid, so like, why wouldn't he want to like be with me? Like, he already know, like, and he's taking me serious. So I'm like, so honestly, no, I had a dream that I asked him how he felt about marrying a woman with a kid, and he said, I don't want a woman with a kid. I'm like, and I was at his house when I had the dream. Like, we were literally sitting on the couch, and I asked him this question, and in my dream he said no. So I woke up the next day and I asked him, like, you know, I want to talk. And I asked him the question, and he was like, I don't want to marry a woman with a kid.
Damn.
So I'm like, what are we doing? Like, mind you, I knew him prior to even dating him. I had known him probably 2 years before. I actually gave him the time of day.
What? Yeah.
So I'm just thinking, like, you been knew I had a kid and you know what I want. Why?
She knew him 2 years before she gave him the time of day. She was out in the street, she got pregnant, and now she want to pick him up and expecting him to wife her.
No.
You giving him 5 months worth of pum pum. Like, I mean, let her continue, let her.
Are you wasting my time? So he was like, I mean,
Wasting your time? Excuse me, sis? Wasting your time? You knew him 2 months, 2 years. Pardon me, you knew him 2 years before. You put him in the friend zone. You went out, you got a kid, and now you want him to
say I wouldn't make you my woman. Like, I want you to be my woman, but would I marry a woman with a kid? No. When I tell you, I left that man quicker than he could fucking blink. Then he tried to talk me into not leaving him alone. Absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely the fuck not. Okay, I'm saying this to say, ask questions. Ask questions. I don't care how uncomfortable it makes you feel asking me in certain questions, but this is something else that he said. He said, you never asked me that. And I'm thinking in my head, like, you actually right. I never asked. I assumed, which is correct. So like I said, I took that as a lesson and I ran with it. Every single person that comes into my life that want to date me, that's one of the first questions I ask. Not, could you be with a woman with a kid? Could you marry a woman with a kid or kids or whatever the case may be? And that right there, it'll just save you all the time, the feelings, all the clarity you need, and get going.
It seems as though he was there for a good time and she wanted a relationship out of it. the fact that she put him in the friend zone for 2 years, and then it's when she got her long titties, that's when she want to take him out, and expecting this man to commit to her is wild to me.
We will not have it. I said we will not have it. Oh.
That just goes to show he was honestly just pump and dumping. Not saying that that was right on his part, not, you know, advocating for pump and dump, but it just goes to show, as a single mom, a man of value, a man who is a provider, protector, leader, and teacher, a man who can actually, because as she said, he was a great guy, he was a provider, you know, she felt comfortable with him. So why didn't you agree to be with him before you had the kid? They see these things because those kind of men tend to have foresight, and they can see through the BS. He was a good guy before you got pregnant. Why are you going to wait until after you got pregnant for a random man? That's when you, excuse me? That part right there. She skipped over that part, and she tried to paint him as the villain. She tried to paint him as, oh, he's wasting my time. He's not wasting your time. He's just having a good time. Like, I mean, honestly, with her putting him in the friend zone for so long, I don't fault him. I can't blame him.
No.
Let's read the comments. One person said he reached out to you since. Oh, let's see if she responded. He said, of course, he tried to spin the block a year later, saying he didn't mean it like that and can give it another try. Nope, I was turned off and could never look at him the same. I mean, good for her for setting her standard and saying, okay, if we're not on the same page, then, you know, we're not going to move forward. Obviously, she's still hurt because, you know, years later, she's still talking about this, because if he's trying to spin the block a year after the incident, then we know the incident is more than a year ago, right? So obviously, she's still hurt, and obviously, you know, she wasn't able to find a man to pick her up. But it just goes to show, young ladies, you cannot be playing with these men of value, thinking that you can be young and dumb, or you can go find yourself, get pregnant, and then think that the man of value is going to be treating you the same way how he was treating you before you got pregnant for the dusty.
That don't make no sense.
Like, let us use our common sense. Somebody else said he would have continued to play house until he found what he ultimately wanted. Yeah, of course, he would have continued to hit it until he found a woman he wanted to wife. She said literally dodged the bullet. I mean, still trying to paint him as the villain. You friend-zoned him for 2 years. And then when you had a kid, you finally decided to run the pum-pum. He is going to take the pum-pum. Like, what man is going to turn down the pum-pum? Just make sure, say, you're safe, and you say you don't get her pregnant. But I can't... I don't see anything wrong with what he did. Not advocating for pump and dump, but you get what I'm saying. This is how my relationship started. He broke up with me for having kids after 3 months, but now 2 years later we live together, so he's still with me. What? Each day he reminds me he's settling, and it bothers him. My kids love him, and sometimes he's involved but confused on what he wants to do. So apparently to this commenter, she was dating somebody. He broke up with her after 3 months, but now 2 years later they live together. So he came back, but he's saying he settled. So he knows in his heart of heart that he don't want to be a stepdaddy, but he settled for her for whatever reason. Hey, sir, go get your little blue book. One thing I want to point out too, the original video, the original content creator, she had said that they were messing around for 5 months. So for 5 months, you did not ask this man if marriage is in y'all future. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Y'all just love wasting time. For 5 months, she was running the pum-pum without asking this man if he plans on marrying her. He can be with her. He can pump her. He can have a good time with her. But is he going to marry her? Clearly not. Somebody else said you have to ask people. Oh, sorry. You have to ask because people will omit things on purpose and be like, well, you never asked. Yeah, exactly. So be straight up and honest. Obviously, this is a guy who is willing to waste your time. Ain't nothing wrong. He don't owe you nothing. You wasted his time for 2 years until you go get pregnant for another man, and then now all of a sudden you want him. Oh, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I mean, come on now. To me, it's the audacity of it all. The fact that she even mentioned that she knew him for 2 years. This is a guy she knew. So why didn't date with him for the 2 years that you... Okay, sis, why are you telling me the exact same story that happened to me? So happy you and me came out on that. Somebody else said that's why you don't run out having kids before marriage, because you're going to run into that situation. Exactly. She responded to that, said, people who were once married with kids have separated, then what? But that's not your case. They love to talk about, oh, well, what about the women who were married and divorced? Or what about the women who are widowed? You're not one of those. You're not one of those. So let's not try to move the goalposts and try to hide behind those small percentage when you are one of the ones who were reckless with your womb. She said, well, the person responded to her and said, well, you said you wanted marriage, so that would make people think that you were never married. Exactly. And was just a baby mama. Exactly. And that's what she was. She was just a baby mama. Even though she knew this guy for 2 years, and even though she knew that this guy was a good guy, because he was always a good guy, he was a good guy for the 2 years that you knew him for, she became a baby mama, and then don't want to be treated like someone who is in the category of a widow, be treated like someone who is in the category of a divorcee. No, you were reckless with your womb. It is completely different when you have kids within wedlock and your spouse either passed away or you guys got a divorce, than when you were careless with your womb. And that's what it is. You were careless with your womb. It annoys me when they try to move the goalposts and hide behind a category that does not apply to them. Come on now, use your common sense. But this just goes to show that a man with value and provider male, a man who can actually pay the cost to play the boss, or whatever they say, the cost and boss, whatever they say. He's not gonna pick up a woman with kids. He's not. Why on earth, especially if he doesn't have kids of his own, why on earth would he sign up for a ready-made family when he can just go create his own with a woman who had respected him, had wanted him, had pursued him from the first time she met him, not after she went out in the streets, got a baby, and now she's like, oh, you're such a good guy. He was a good guy 2 years ago. That is the part that I just cannot get over. Save yourselves, black men. These men do not want to be stepfathers, and these baby mamas are pissed. So point laugh and continue to get to the chopper. Y'all go watch the next video that pop up on the screen when a TikToker warned men about becoming a stepdaddy. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.
Get to the chopper!